And from the other side of World War I
Yeah, true.
is The Doll, which is a movie about a man who is so powerfully gay that uh, he has to pretend to marry a sex robot.
Yeah, pretty much. Like, no lies were spoken just now.
This movie is so good and it's so funny, and I love it.
Yeah. Well, this is a German movie directed by Ernst Lubitsch, who directed I Don't Want to Be a Man.
More gendery kind of stuff going on.
Yeah. I think I'm like this one more, just because of how wackadoo it is.
It's very zany and it's also very tight.
Yes.
Which I appreciated
It's also
after
like
watching
it's like a fairy tale.
J'accuse.
It's very heightened.
Yeah.
In its world, its storytelling, all of it.
Yeah, it feels like it could have been done, like it could have been set at any time, like
Yeah.
because they're talking about like dowries and
Mm-hmm.
princesses and whatever.
But even like a lot of the sets and the props are sort of intentionally very stagey and very fake.
Yeah, I love that. I love that aspect of it. Like, there's a horse that's clearly like a
Two
guy
people
in a horse
costume.
and then like it's pretending to be a horse the whole time, and you're just kind of playing along, and then somebody asks the horse a question, and the horse just talks.
Yeah, it's like that's kind of I feel like this movie wouldn't really work without that intentional kind of artifice and like heightened reality, because
Mhm.
it asks, I think, the audience to go along with a lot of absurdity.
Yeah, I was thinking while I was watching this how well it would work, like with sound in like modern era, and I feel like it could work. There's
Yeah.
like a lot. There's like you could throw in some like commentary about like objectification, which I feel like it doesn't necessarily touch on,
Mm-hmm.
but it's like there for
Yeah.
the picking. Um, but it's just so fun. It's
Yeah.
fun.
I think based on these two movies that we've watched, I think Ernst Lubitsch is very good at injecting his stories with a lot of ideas without explicitly making the movies about them, kind of. Like, they function as these very tight,
Like comedies,
entertaining
zany
comedies, zany, entertaining comedies, but there's definitely a lot going on in them that isn't necessarily text, I guess, or isn't, like, lampshaded or sort of overly dramatically, like, stated in intertitles.
Right. Like, for example, it's not explicitly stated that this guy is gay, but he clearly is,
Yes, yeah, 100%. Or at least, I mean, he does sort of end up with a lady at the end.
I think that's just because it had to in the story.
Right. Well, it also, much like I Don't Want to Be a Man, I feel like it has all of that in it, and then at the end it sort of ends in this very sort of standard, like, status quo,
Kind of
hetero way.
somewhat normative, yeah.
Yes, for sure. Which, who knows if that was like a mandate, like he felt like he couldn't go off the rails too much, or if it was just like, it's a nice story. To get into a little bit more plottiness of it, is about a baron, the king of town, as it were, wants his nephew named Lancelot to get married, but Lancelot is not exactly a ladies' man. He is actively frightened of women.
Yes. And he doesn't want to have anything to do with them. He offers and makes it publicly known that he's like offering a 300,000 franc dowry for his nephew. So there's like 40 women who are all clamoring after him to become his new wife, and he hates that they are anywhere near him, and runs away to
Flees
a
town.
Monastery.
Yeah.
He flees town to a monastery full of men.
Yeah, a bunch of friar types who do nothing but eat all day.
Yeah.
And they're running out of money because they've spent it all on food. And so then Lancelot is staying with them, and they find out about this dowry money. And they're like, think of all the pork knuckles we can buy with that money.
Yeah.
As stated in the intertitles. They come up to him with this plan of, we know this doll maker, see, and you can marry a doll and get the money.
Yeah.
And then you can give the money to us because we're your friends, see?
'Cause we want to buy chicken with it.
Yes, exactly. There's this very funny shot while they're like asking him this, where it cuts to all the friars like twiddling their thumbs, waiting for him to answer.
There's also a very funny shot where like one of the friars is kind of like thinking about something, and he's just like kind of rubbing his forehead, like thinking, and he says, "Join me in my worries," and then like a dozen people come up, and then they all rub his head with him. There's a lot of silliness in this movie.
This movie is very silly. Great example. They go to meet the doll maker, whose name is Hilarious. It's not a funny name. His name is the word hilarious.
And he is named and looks like a Méliès inventor, which I love.
Yes, he looks like John C. Reilly dressed as Salvador Dali.
Is that one of your pre-written jokes?
Yes, it was. I slipped that one in there without saying it though. And he's made this very state-of-the-art doll, basically just a robot, an android.
Yes, a gynoid.
True. Not the first in film, but a good early example. And he's built it in the image of his own daughter, Ossie, as played by Ossie Oswalda, who was also.
And he's got a bunch of these.
Yeah, he's got an army of them.
All different ladies, but he's making one right now that he's modeling off of his daughter.
Yeah.
A sex robot.
Yeah. Well, yes. And without it being explicitly stated, yeah, that's sort of the.
Okay, but his business card says that they are for bachelors, widowers, and misogynists.
Yes. There you go.
So
do the math. But so he's all set to sell this robot to Lancelot, but then his creepy boy assistant is dancing with the robot and breaks it. And so the real Ossie pretends to be the doll while it's like the transaction is being made.
And thus the setup for hijinks.
Yeah,
she has to pretend to be the doll.
Yeah.
Another thing about, Lancelot is, he offers him all of the robots that he already has like fully finished, and they kick their feet in the air in a synchronized dance, and he sees like under their skirts a little bit, and he's like, whoa.
I don't want any of this.
Yeah. The like apprentice, he is like, basically like a 12-year-old boy.
The weirdest character.
He's so strange. Cause he like when he brings Lancelot in, he says like, "Come on in, young man,"
Yeah, and
he's
12. Yeah.
Yeah. And he's always like threatening suicide.
He every single time he makes the slightest mistake, which he's very often breaking things, causing problems, just being a real rascal. And every single time he gets like caught in an act of rascalry, he's like, "Oh, woe is me." And then he's
like, I guess it's over. I'll drink paint now.
I'll drink paint, or like, he's always, or like jump out a window, whatever. He's always sort of like dejectedly trying to kind of off himself.
It's such a weird character thing, but I love it. It's so funny.
I do not understand what was going on with that character, but very entertaining.
Yeah, he literally says "Goodbye, cruel world," and then is about to drink some paint.
Yeah.
That other moment that's later in the movie where he jumps out the window is the funniest thing in the movie, though, because he's like, "All right, that's it. I'm jumping out the window. Like it's over for me." And like the people are like, oh god, he jumps out the window, and then it cuts to the outside, and it is on the ground floor, and he doesn't even react. He's just like, and then he walks away.
classic gag, so well implemented here.
It's hilarious. It's so good.
I feel like a lot of the rest of the plot is like pretty boilerplate. It's like what you'd expect the rest of the plot of this movie to be. It's like there's a wedding and things are really awkward, and like like
Yeah, and like she can't keep up the ruse all the time.
Right, like
yeah.
the Baron meets her and she's like all acting like a robot, and he's trying to pass it off as like, oh, she's from a very formal family. And then it's like people are offering her food at the wedding, and he's like, oh no, she doesn't need to eat. And so she's trying to like steal food from his plate without him seeing, so that she won't know that she's not a robot. There's so many jokes in this movie are the sort of like she's trying to do a thing and someone will look and she has to like stand still. There is like just boatloads of that joke happening in this in a good way. Like it's always funny.
Mm-hmm.
He gets the dowry money and returns to the the monastery, and he's like, oh, you know, I don't need this doll anymore. And they're like, oh, throw her in the junk room, I think is what they say.
Mm-hmm.
And then she starts dancing, and they're like, well, we like dancing, so I guess we'll keep her around.
Right, but also like, yeah, like there's this whole dynamic of it's like you're not supposed to look at ladies, don't do this,
yeah,
you know.
Yeah. She does the 1919 version of the robot.
And then they go back, you know, she goes back to his room, and eventually, after they're married, after he thought he married a robot, it turns out that he married a real lady officially.
Yeah.
And he's like, wait, that's great. I like you for some reason now.
Well, it's like, at that point, I feel like...
he's not threatened anymore.
Right. It's like he doesn't feel the pressure or whatever, so it's like he's already kind of gotten to know her a little bit while thinking that she's a robot. And so when he finds out that she's a human, he's like, oh, okay, I'm actually cool with you hanging around now.
Yeah.
It's very saucy, much like the last Ernst Lubitsch movie we watched.
I'm digging these Lubitsch movies. They're a lot of fun.
A lot of really great, like, silent movie comedy acting in this, especially from Ossie Oswalda. She does a thing so much in this movie that is very funny, she's very good at, which is, like, stifling laughter. I'm laughing, but I'm trying not to show it. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of scenes where it's, like, Lancelot will, like, put, like a hat on her, like a coat in her arm or something like that, being like, oh, the robot's just gonna hold this. And she'll like throw it back at him and then like go back to standing still. Mm-hmm. And she's facing away from him, so he can't really see her face. And she's like trying not to laugh. Yeah, just like good comedy staging. Things like the jumping out the window gag. It's just like such like simple, great visual comedy stuff. Yeah, there's this movie also has a lot of the like diagonal like frames or like circle frames. There's like a cross frame, I think, at one point. There's a moon that winks.
A like very like hastily drawn moon.
Yeah.
That kind of like looks disapproving, and then like she kind of like leans on him in a way that's romantic or whatever, and the moon's like, yeah, nice job.
Which is I think that kind of sums up the vibe of this movie a lot.
Yeah.
And yeah, there's a lot of like staginess, but it doesn't really feel like it feels distinct from a lot of the staginess that we've seen from other early silent movies.
It's intentional.
But even like, I don't know, I'm thinking of like Méliès movies have like moons with faces and like very obviously like stagey sets. Mm-hmm. But this, I can't even necessarily put a finger on why it feels so different, but it feels very distinct from those.
Well, because, yeah, those are in this kind of, like, fairy tale reality. This is, like, a fairy tale. But those are in, like, you know, like, painterly fairy tale realities. Where this one is, like, mostly a regular movie with just some, like, strange details in the background.
True, yeah.
Which I think is even better, honestly. Because, like, I love just, like, the kind of subtle, I don't know, unexpected weirdness, maybe. Like those horses.
Yeah. The horses.
Look at those horses.